And welcome to the CTN Sports Game of the Week. We just have the draw and the ball getting thrown into the pool. We have the River Rats and the Skyline Eagles. Good evening again. I'm Kevin Bryant, and welcome back to the voice of CTN Sports, Pete Poyer, with the call.
Thank you very much, Kevin. It's good to be back, and we are here at Huron High School, and we are in the pool, and we are underway. And that first shot is wide of the net. The River Rats on possession right now. Trying to work that in position for a shot on net. Shot clock running down. There's a whistle and a foul.
And it looks like the Huron team's just going to eat that one right there. No shot really on goal.
Oh, most of the Huron attackers had moved back into a defensive position with just a couple of seconds left on the shot clock, so they basically kind of gave up on that possession because there's just so little time left. Really not a lot of time to do anything.
Yeah, these two teams, Pete, they played a couple weeks ago, and it was just the 2 goals or 2 points separating them, so we're really expecting a good defensive match this evening.
Oh, both teams ranked in the top 10, looking for a tune-up before the districts begin shortly. So both teams trying to gear up and get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, head coach Rebecca Godick for the Skyline Eagles. She's familiar with getting her team prepped and ready for the postseason. The Skyline team won the state championship 2 years ago. Last year, the Pioneers won, and now, as they approach districts, Huron is actually the team that's leading in the rankings, so maybe it's going to be a trifecta of state championships in girls water polo.
Huron ranked number 6 in the state and Skyline number 8, so it should be a good matchup between these two teams, especially Huron or Skyline having not as quite a good a record, but they've been turning it on as of late with a couple of shutouts recently. And been turning it on, so they're gearing up their game, getting ready for the playoffs.
And they actually had a preview of their Dexter match, and that's who they're going to be playing in districts. And they actually clobbered the Dreadnoughts 11-0 in their last match just last week. So they are playing some very good water polo.
And a point-blank shot right in front of the net, and great save made there by the Skyline goalkeeper.
Ali Malata, senior, in the cage for the Eagles with the two-handed, it's kind of a punch stop right there on the block.
And that pass too far. Picked up by Claire Denhauer, the goalkeeper for Huron.
Here's that last shot on goal, Pete, and you can see right on the doorstep inside that 4-meter mark, and the Huron player unable to really get a good angle on that shot.
And usually when they have such a great opportunity like that, 9 times out of 10 they score that goal.
Yeah, you go cross cage. You don't go directly at the defender, or maybe even a bounce shot.
The old skip shot. Oh, Eagles back on offense, trying to get the ball in a good position. Shot clock running down again. Less than 10 seconds to go. They're going to have to get a shot off quickly.
You see Emily Marsh right there on defense for the River Rats, the senior captain. We've covered a lot of Emily's sports, usually on the hoop court, and now she's on the let's just call this a court as well, too. She's just a little bit wet.
Well, we've seen Emily on the volleyball court,
yes,
on the basketball court, and on the lacrosse field.
And actually even before the game.
I believe field hockey as well at some point in time.
They were, one of the fans was explaining to us that she played golf as well, too. She definitely has made a case to join the River Rat Hall of Fame once she graduates in just a couple weeks.
Well, and I tell you, it's been a real pleasure watching her perform these past 4 years as an athlete at Huron. It's been fun.
She's a great leader, too. I've had a chance to interview her several times, and she will always comment on her teammates and her coach and the preparation that the coach has allowed her to really gain a better, understanding of whatever sport she's involved in. think she's going to be playing next year at Bradley basketball. Great university, and it's good to see that she's going to continue playing athletics.
Well, we wish the best of luck to Emily and all of the seniors here on senior night in their college and post-high school endeavors.
Exactly.
Here's a shot that sails wide of the net. Well, we're still scoreless, 2:24 to go here in the first period. Each period 7 minutes long. There's 4 of them. They go by pretty quickly.
And sometimes even you'll see the defensive player take a foul, especially when it goes down here in the hole. That way, the person will get a free toss, but the defender will be able to change, and it kind of slows down and breaks up the offense some. So sometimes in this sport, it's not a bad thing to get a foul.
Well, Emily Marsh with possession for Huron. In the center of the pool, she draws the foul. There's a quick skip shot, and that just sails wide of the net.
Yeah, that was a free throw right from the point by Marsh. Just skipped it a little bit too soon. You can see where she was going. I read a stat today, Pete, that 75% of all goals are shot on the strong side shot, or side of the cage. So that's exactly what Marsh was trying there.
Is that because predominantly most people are right-handed?
Right-handed, but even the left-handed players will go on the strong side. Not a lot of cross-cage shots is what they're saying once you're on one side of the net for a right-handed person. For a left-handed person, it switches on the other side. And you can always, in the Huron team now, Pete, with just 9 seconds left, has the man advantage, and we just, they go back to full strength on that shot there.
Another skip shot from Marsh. That was save made.
And there's that shot from Marsh up top. Again, she tries the old skip shot once again. Quick hands there from the goalkeeper coming out, and really soft play to deflect that shot.
Oh, change of possession. Eagles with it. Long pass down pool. Fast break opportunity for the Skyline Eagles. Getting in close, there's a quick shot and the goal. Maggie Stevens, the captain, or one of the captains for the Eagles, and they draw first blood and get the first goal of the match.
Well, Maggie Stevens, she just had the inside lane there and inside water, and she takes advantage of popping out after swimming and diving right into the doorstep. Inside the 4 or the 5 meter mark, and just goes upstairs, almost a donut shot, where the goalkeeper goes up with both hands and the shot still went over her head.
Strong side, too.
Hey, 75% of the time, you're right 100% of the time.
And that pass just a little bit too far, picked up by Skyline. Last 30 seconds of play here in period number 1.
That last attack by the River Rats was kind of a soft. They left like 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Kind of impatient.
And the Eagles can run down the shot clock in this first period and get a shot at the end and not allow Huron with one. There's a shot early in the shot clock over the crossbar. Just 12 seconds left to go.
Yeah, Stewart from right up top. She looked like she was in the driver's position.
Oh, long shot just over the crossbar. Almost got that in underneath the crossbar.
Nothing but net. Oh, wrong sport.
And just a fraction of a second. And that'll do it for period number 1. The Skyline Eagles score the only goal in period number 1. We'll take a quick break and be back with period number 2 right here on CTN Sports.
PEG TV. Public, education, and government television programs reflect the specific interests and diversity of local communities. You've probably watched it without really knowing what it is or how it benefits you directly. Each community has its own personality, its own style, its own priorities, its own obstacles and needs. And one thing each community has in common is not just the need for its own voice, but access to the means to express it. PEG TV provides that. PEG TV channels are non-commercial and combined nationally deliver more original, locally made shows than all commercial television stations combined. PEG TV delivers entertaining, informational programs for everyone: seniors, youth, parents, educators, consumers, and in some areas delivers multilingual programming for ethnic communities. PEG TV also provides vital election coverage, public safety, and emergency information specific to where you live. Standard programming often includes council and commission meetings, public service announcements, and informational bulletin boards. Special interest programming often includes local festivals, parades, concerts, talk shows, magazine-style shows, and other programs unique to your village, your township, your city, and your neighborhood, which are often overlooked by commercial media programming. In many communities, PEG TV provides the only coverage of local government. Without PEG, it can be difficult for citizens to stay informed about local government issues and events. Your community has a voice, and that voice is speaking to your subdivision, your streets, your senior citizens, your property, and your family's safety, and it's speaking to you. Please learn more about this valuable resource. Tune in to your local PEG channels, then give the following websites a visit. Remember, we are your voice. PEG TV, public education and government television. Your voice, your community, your PEG.
And welcome back to CTN Sports presentation of our game of the water polo. Huron and Skyline. Skyline with the only goal of period number 1. That's scored by Maggie Stevens. Both teams back into the pool after the short break between periods to get ready for the start of period number 2. A lot of up and down action, Kevin, but not a lot of goals.
Yeah, good strategy employed there by you can see her in the background, Coach Godick for the Eagles. They came out and they didn't really press by, peppering the net of the River Rats of the cage with a bunch of shots. They were methodical in their approach and really waited until the opportunity presented themselves for a breakaway goal, and they capitalized on that. It looked to see in this second period of the River Rats being a little bit more aggressive once they do gain possession of the ball.
And Eagles win possession to open period number 2, just like they did in period number 1. The Rats did a really good job defensively on the Eagles, only allowing that one fast break goal. Conversely, though, the Rats need to do a better job on the offensive end of the pool.
Yeah, and you can see right there from that set from the Eagles, they spread out. They really didn't have anyone down into the hole. I think it was actually Sarah Morris there, but just for a brief moment, kind of opened up the shooting area by spreading out and giving the outside shooter a little bit more of an opportunity to hit that 3x10 cage.
There's a foul on Huron. Possession back to the Eagles. Oh, another offensive opportunity squandered by Huron. Oh, the Eagles back down pool.
You could almost see up under the surface and some of the contact that was going on that last infraction. And that infraction's inside the 4-meter mark, so you get a free toss, and you see everybody just collapse to the cage. And Huron has a person in the excursion box as well too, right there on camera.
So power play opportunity for the Eagles. They've really crunched in that offensive circle, trying to present themselves an opportunity on offense.
And even though Huron has several defenders down there, they still can't touch the ball with two hands, only the goalkeeper.
And no goal as shot clock ran out. Now a long pass down Pool. Bit of a fast break opportunity for Huron, but they pull up and hold it, waiting for more attackers to get down Pool. Now Marsh has it out top, trying to work the ball in a little closer.
You can see she's using that posting up size that she's done so many times on the CTN game of the week on the basketball court.
Now that shot was blocked, never got to the goalkeeper. And it'll be Eagle possession. Under 5 minutes to go here in period number 2.
The same set that the Eagles, employed in the first period. They're allowing their team to dive or drive all the way up the pool and have the goalkeeper send it down to an open point person, Ali Malat.
Maddie McAdams with that last shot opportunity by Skyline. Here it is on the replay. And she'll take the shot, and it gets knocked away at the last second by Den Houter.
And Van Outer does a good job of covering up the cage on the top post. She really got out of the water and left no room for that shot to squeeze in on the top side.
Another long shot by McAdams over the crossbar. Trying to sneak that right under there, but just a little bit too much power on the ball. Oh, Rats back the other way. There's a quick shot. Skipper to one side, knocked away by Milat.
And again, the Rats going really quick on the offense, not setting up any type of set plays, running any screens, taking a lot of low percentage shots from outside.
I think their idea is to try and catch Skyline out of position.
And so far it hasn't worked.
Yeah, if they can get the goalkeeper alone, they got an opportunity with that big net. There's another long shot, trying to sneak it into the crossbar. Knocked away by Den Houter.
Den Houter played that nice and smooth. Didn't get frazzled. Now you have Emily Marsh down into the hole, and she's getting beat up right now.
And that pass is intercepted. Skyline doing a great job defensively in this match so far.
As Stevens again, she's the Eagle that scored in the first period, Pete. Again, now she's trying a lob shot, trying to catch Van Houter sleeping a little bit.
Exactly what I was thinking, Kevin. Oh, shot clock running out. And a long shot, easy save made by Den Houter. And Huron back the other way. Now there's a pass into the middle. Again, trying to catch the Eagles out of position. And so far, they've been up to the task of getting on those passes and intercepting them.
Well, we don't know the size of each player, but we definitely know the size of Emily Marsh being a power forward on the hoop court. And you just saw a pass down into the paint there area that was defended perfectly by the Skyline Eagle defender.
Now approaching 2 minutes to go. That pass is intercepted. Oh, lob shot for the corner and just outside and wide. Good idea there.
Yeah, Kristen Clyde, that was smart because you could see that the netminder is on the strong side and the shot just a bit short, but good idea.
Just a little bit short and a little bit right. And otherwise that would have been in the net for Huron's first goal. Another shot by the Eagles is high and over the crossbar.
Not a lot of bounce shots out of the Eagles so far. That's probably the third or fourth shot that we've seen sail on the top side of the goalpost.
Well, my guess is that they know these teams so well. They know weaknesses, so they're going to try and exploit weaknesses. Now this possession, a lot of time being wasted by Huron, way out top. A little bit of a sloppy passing. Under a minute to play till the half. And a long shot and easy save made by Milot.
Elena Baker with that shot there. Again, low percentage on a short shot clock. That's just not been a friend of the River Rats so far in this opening half.
Final 30 seconds of play in half number one. And Huron could run this all the way down and out and not allow the Eagles another offensive opportunity in this half. Marsh picks up the ball. 10 seconds to play. And another quick skip shot. And possession back over to the Eagles with just 8 seconds to go. Another long shot. Save made, and that's going to do it for half number one. Again, only one goal scored so far in the first half. That by the Eagles as we head to the halftime break. We'll be back with second half action right here on CTN Sports.
Stations 1, 3, and 6 are responding to 411 reported structure fire coming from the basement. Base 1 battalion still on the scene. I got heavy smoke showing. Give me another unit down here.
I'm a fire inspector with the Ann Arbor Fire Department. A fire can break out at any time, and having smoke detectors in your home will increase your chance of escape in the event there is a fire. Install and maintain smoke detectors on each level of your home, inside each bedroom and near sleeping areas. Test your detectors monthly and change their battery every 6 months. And if your current detector is 10 years old or more, replace it with a new one, because protecting you and your family is number one.
Battalion 2 to dispatch. Fire's under control. Everyone's out safe.
I wanna go running. But my stumpy arms are best suited for browsing a2gov.org/CTN. For real, check us out at a2gov.org/CTN. Okay, Bob, we got it.
Welcome back to CTN Sports Game of the Week. I'm Pete Poirier along with Kevin Bryant. We are in the pool at Huron High School. Skyline Eagles and the Huron River Rats, the ladies. And Skyline with the only goal. Maggie Stevens, the only goal scorer so far in the match. And we are about to get the third period underway.
I'm looking at our CTN score, you know, the fonts and stuff that they put on the
It's called
screens.
a graphic.
Graphics. I knew it was something. This is more than a one-syllable word, so it lost me. But This is not a baseball game, folks. This is a water polo contest, and you usually have a little bit more goal scoring, but a great job by the Skyline Eagles in the first half as far as deploying their strategy of slowing the River Rats down. River Rats, they come into this match winning 3 games in a row, but the Eagles really controlling ball possession as well as shot clock, and not allowing the River Rats, actually making them impatient at times.
That's a long shot headed toward the far corner. Save made by Den Houter. Now Huron back the other way. They get a fast break opportunity if they can hurry. But again, they pull up and hold it and set their offense.
Yeah, and that's just puzzling there because it looked like there was some open inside water in front of the Huron person to take it inside that 4-meter marker and unleash a shot on goal.
A little bit surprising as, once again, shot clock winds down on the River Rats and they don't get a quality shot off.
It's possession after possession. The Eagles' defense is just man on man, and it's right up in each person's face where they're not allowing the River Rats to gain any confidence to turn around and unleash any type of shots on the cage. And Pete, you commented in between the halftime break that these referees really have not been involved in the match. As I say that, of course, a whistle is going to be blown, but they're allowing these two teams to eat up each shot clock without calling a bunch of minor fouls, and we've only seen maybe 3 excursion penalties where there's been a man-up opportunity.
Well, both teams really playing very tight defensively and playing a clean game. So that's really kind of taking the referees out of it some too.
And it's to be expected at this point in the season, both teams getting prepared for the postseason that begins just a couple days away.
Opportunity for the River Rats, but they're going to have to send it back outside the 4-meter range. And that really burned off a lot of time on the shot clock.
And we mentioned in the first half about sometimes in this sport, it's not a bad thing for a defender to take a penalty. And there was an instance just like that where the Skyline Eagle defender allowed themselves to get the penalty called, and the ball has to get put back out. And another possession for the River Rats down the drain.
There's a shot by the Eagles that sails wide of the net. Oh, Huron will take it back the other way. Now, perhaps since this is kind of a tune-up to the playoffs, both teams are being careful. They're taking it easy. They don't want to over-stress. They don't want to get anybody injured. It's kind of, both teams are being a little less aggressive than they would normally because of the timing of this match.
Totally agree, Pete. They're both in the same district that begins on Friday, so they could potentially meet each other again. Don't want to give any secrets out, and also don't want to don't want to allow the other team to exploit a weakness. So both teams are kind of playing, not at full, let's say 100% tilt.
What do they call that? They say they're playing a little vanilla.
I like that. I'm going to go with that.
Under 4 minutes to go here in period number 3. Again, we remain just the 1 goal so far scored in this match. That by the Skyline Eagles' Maggie Stevens.
And we're not really seeing a lot of passing by the River Rats. You see this kind of play right now where they hold on to the ball and they don't move it around, which is allowing the netminder for the Eagles, Malat, to stay in one position and not have to move around the pool.
And a near breakaway there. And that's knocked away by the Huron defense. Good job there by Sophie Flott on defense, intercept that pass and break up that would-be opportunity for the Eagles.
And there's a good pass into the point.
Nice pass, a little dunk shot by Emily Marsh, and Huron scores the game-tying goal.
By a fingernail. You could see that just get right over the head of Allie Malat, and it was triggered by an outstanding pass from up top. There's the pass, and it led Marsh to the open pool, but this shot here, that's experience. You know, you haven't seen those type of shots out of Marsh the entire game. She's been bounce shotting attempts. That time, she took her time, gathered herself, and nice lob shot over the top to tie this match up.
And let's give a good hand on the assist to Lindsay Kingma, who got that pass into Marsh, and so she could get her shot opportunity.
It's perfect pass, right on point. It led her enough that it took her away from the defender that was trying to swim up to Marsh, and it allowed Marsh to have an angle on the cage as well too, because it wasn't a straight on shot.
And that goal prompted a timeout. Oh, both teams getting instruction from their respective coaches. There's Rebecca Godek right there, leaning over with the whiteboard, giving some instruction to her players. And conversely, Mike Gottliebson for Huron doing the same thing over on the other side of the pool. Sans whiteboard.
Yeah, and he's allowing some of his assistant coaches to put in their wording as well too. That's a competent coach there. A lot of times during timeouts, the head coach will, take all of the time, but it's a good thing to hear different voices on the sideline. And there you can see the River Rats are employing that type of style.
I was kind of wondering when the offensive intensity was going to pick up, because you think at some point, at least late in the match, maybe in the fourth period, the intensity is going to pick up a little bit because the teams want to win.
You said the term they were playing vanilla. They were playing vanilla, but at the end of the day, on senior night, Huron doesn't want to lose to a crosstown rival in their own pool on senior night. That's
Absolutely.
That's not a good vibe heading into districts.
You want to go into the playoffs with a good taste in your mouth.
Exactly.
Oh, both teams back out into the pool after the timeout.
You can already see what the Skyline Eagles were talking about. They have their goalkeeper right in mid-pool, way outside of the cage, and she will probably be triggering this offense, I would assume.
And that is the case, and we're back underway. Approaching 3 minutes to play here in period number 3. Eagles trying to work their offense. There's a foul there on Huron. And kind of a soft shot there. Easy save by Den Houter. And the Rats will bring it back the other way.
Yeah, no threat on that shot. Real popcorn there.
Went for the far corner on that shot, just off the mark.
Kirby Gardner on the shot there. Senior, another senior for these River Rats. Have 6 of them on the roster.
Oh, prior to the game, they had senior night here. They introduced all of the seniors. So they will have a lot of talent to replace next year.
Definitely. But it kind of goes along with the record that the River Rats have. We mentioned earlier in the broadcast that last year it was Pioneer winning. 2 years ago it was Skyline winning. So these River Rats that are seniors now have faced a lot of tough talent over the last couple years.
Well, perhaps they think, hey, we're seniors now, it's our turn.
Exactly. They've gained some experience as well as confidence.
Pass into the hole. The Huron defense collapses, and possession is awarded to the River Rats.
Yeah, poor Sarah Morris for the Eagles. She's submarine there. We lost her off a camera for a moment.
And a foul on Huron will send the Eagles back the other way quickly.
I think that last goal, Pete, kind of woke up the Huron defense. It seems like they're playing a little bit more aggressive, as well as not even guarding man on man. They're guarding areas more so than they were the first two periods.
And the majority of the Eagles' shots, like you saw that last one, are coming from way out. Nothing down close.
Good defense there from the Eagles. Haven't had too many turnovers.
A minute 5 to go in period number 3. Eagles have it back on offense. Now they have a 30-second shot clock, and that 30 seconds really seems to wind down and hurry.
Yeah, and even when, on that last possession, the Eagles got a couple extra seconds before the shot clock expired for the River Rats, it allowed everyone to swim up pool. But the intensity, I believe, of the defense from both teams is letting that shot clock just drain down faster than it usually does.
That's a great defensive play by Kirby Gardner for Huron on that last offensive possession for the Eagles.
And you can see it right here on this replay, right from the back, just grabbing that arm and dislodging the ball before it could even be shot on net.
Now Huron get a quick shot off and just wide of the net. Last 11 seconds of period number 3. Skyline with the time ticking down. They take a weak shot, and the rest of the time is going to come off the clock. No shot there on that long shot by Emily Marsh. And that will do it for period number 3. We'll be back after a quick break with period number 4 right here on CTN Sports.
I just wish there was some place I could watch my favorite local TV shows.
Whoa! Cool, where am I?
You are in a computer terminal.
Who said that?
I am the god of computers. I heard your wish and granted you access to my terminal.
Really? I've always wanted to be inside one of these things. So what's next?
Visit CTN's and the City of Ann Arbor's streaming and video on demand 82gov.org/watchctn.
What do I do there?
Here you can watch city meetings, community produced programs, school board and education programming, and a whole lot more.
Yes! This is great!
The live streams include CTN's 4 channels: government, public, educational, and community. Just click the sidebar for the channel you prefer and click play.
I can watch 4 channels. Cool.
The video on demand option lists city meetings and CTN series in drop-down folders for a quick and easy viewing process. Programs are listed by dates, or you can sort by title.
Are you kidding me? I wish I knew about this earlier.
Visit 82gov.org/watchctn for CTN live streams and video on demand.
That's great. Now I can go tell my friends. Once I leave.
Goodbye.
Hello?
And welcome back for the fourth and final period here on CTN Sports Game of the Week. It's been a tight contest. 1-1 is the score. Hope you've enjoyed all the action. I'm Pete Poyer, along with Kevin Bryant, and had a kind of an interesting little circumstance happening there during the break. Kevin, you want to describe it?
I do, because I've never seen an official at the end of a period turn and face the crowd and ask the crowd not to count down the shot clock. And he's telling them that he's asking them like he was threatening to kick the student section out if they continue to do that. And I just think that's odd, being that this is Huron's home pool. And don't you want to have your fans yelling and screaming and into the match?
Right. I mean, that's part of home pool advantage, right?
Exactly. So
well, you see it at every basketball game.
And if those students are anything like the students that I went to school with here at Huron, they're probably going to do it just to spite them.
Well, the Rats win the race to the middle of the pool this time. They will have the opening offensive possession here in period number 4. And we'll see if the students start counting down again, or if they acquiesce to the request of the referee.
He was nice when he said it.
Oh, yeah, he was polite about it.
He asked them. And, you know, I still think that the students are going to voice whatever they'd like to, whenever they want to.
So exclusion penalty on the Eagles. Huron on the power play. You see the River Rats trying to squeeze that offensive area down, and the shot off the crossbar. And the Eagles have it back.
And they go right to the person came out of the excursion zone, Miranda Stewart, now with the far side.
Oh, Eagles back on offense. Quick shot. Quick and nice save by Claire Denhouder in goal, knocking that one away.
That was awesome.
Here's a look at that save on the replay.
And watch how fast Claire comes out of the water. It's like she deked the offensive player into shooting high, and she planned to go right up there with her right hand for the block.
Another shot sailing over the net. Out of bounds. Rats will bring it back the other way. Marsh will pick it up in the middle of the pool. Looking to pass it down low, and she'll send it wide now.
Doing a
10 seconds on the shot clock.
I was going to say Maggie Stevens is doing a great job for the Eagles inside the hole there. And you can see Maggie now, she's chasing down the River Rat person. Looks like that was number 11, but she was fronting her and not allowing that pass to easily be dumped into the post.
Nice defensive play there by Stevens. Near intercept of that pass. Eagles will keep it on offense. And they can't get a handle on it. And back to the Rats it goes.
Kristen Clyde did a great job. And we're going to get a timeout. But Kristen Clyde did a great job on that last attempt for the Eagles of coming in for the River Rats and defending that shot. It looked like that Madeline Lynch, the sophomore for the Eagles, was going to be able to turn around and maybe even get a backhanded shot off. But too much contact there by the River Rat defender.
Just couldn't get a handle on the ball. And that goes to the defensive play.
Exactly. When I was going to comment just before that, and now we can hear the student section letting the refs know exactly whose house this is. Love it. But what I was going to notice is that the River Rat defenders, next time they're on the defense, you can watch their heads. They all have eyes on the ball. They're keeping track of their man as well as the ball. And that is what defense is all about, because then you're all playing as a unit. And you can see the way the Eagles are moving the ball around. They're still not getting open shots or really hard shots at the net.
And you saw the graphics there. Check us out on our social media pages. Make sure to get on over to YouTube and check out a replay of this game.
And hit that subscribe button, too, when you're there.
Absolutely. It'll be in absolutely stunning high definition.
Nice. See some little headbutt going on there a couple times. How about a trifecta?
That's get out of my way, I'm coming through.
Well, this sport is a mixture of a lot of other sports, and one of the sports that we don't see that much, the under surface contact. We saw above the surface contact there, but they mix in a little bit of wrestling as well, and you can probably bet that that defender's hands was probably giving some business below the surface to Marsh.
And I think that's probably what a lot of these penalties that the referees call, they're given the business penalties.
Exactly. Kind of annoying, like that gnat in summer that you just can't kill. It's just all up in your face.
Well, it's senior night, the senior night program. They asked about the seniors' thoughts during their first polo game, and Emily Marsh's response was, "Is it too early to ask for a sub, and is this girl allowed to hold on to me?" So obviously, from jump, she's describing the physical play that goes on underneath the surface of the water.
Oh, I mean, and you were just explaining how Maya Talib Bedad was playing defense on Emily Marsh right there, dunking her up under the water and making that shot not as simple as it could be.
Well, and that's just doing her job, making it tough and defending.
Well, this is another one of those sports where you have to have speed and endurance. And the endurance part is something that you just get better at over time. So I'm sure Emily looks at that quote now and says, wow, I really said that.
Under 4 minutes to go. Take a look at that shot on the replay.
A lot of open cage there, and probably should have went with the bounce shot, that opportunity low.
And there's a dunk shot and into the net for Huron. It's Elena Baker with the goal, and Huron takes the lead 2-1, and the hometown fans are going bonkers.
Well, they should. That was a great shot there. Again, a lob shot out of it, the River Rats. Off of a little bit of a breakaway inside pool there. We talk about that inside water all the time. Almost a carbon copy of the goal by Marsh.
Same type of shot, just from a different angle, right over the goalkeeper. Well, after being tied for quite a bit of period in the middle of this match, where Huron with the 1-goal lead, we'll see how the Eagles respond. This is the first time they've been down in this match.
Well, the previous 3 games, the Eagles have scored an average of 14 points coming into this match, so not sure if it's all attributed to the Huron defense, but they've had games before, or matches before tonight, where they've lit up the scoreboard, so this game by a long way is not over.
Well, Coach Godek saw something on offense she called timeout for the Eagles.
You can see her back to the old whiteboard. Coach Godek
she's showing the position in front of the net on the offensive side.
Showing where they needed to be. Well, I was going to mention that Coach Godek is both the men's and women's coach and has state titles with both men and women in the past 3 years. She definitely knows what she's doing with that whiteboard. Hey, where's your whiteboard?
And there's Coach Mike Gollibson. He does not use the whiteboard. It's not his.
He draws it in the water.
Should have a stick, you know. You over here, you over here.
Throw me the Gatorade bottle. That's the goal.
So his instructions were pretty short and to the point.
Well,
Godek took a little bit more time explaining what she wanted out of them offensively. And now both teams back out into the pool.
And Huron with a man down as they begin this timeout period. So that's probably what precipitated that timeout, to get this man advantage and really get a good quality shot on goal.
Oh, Kristen Clyde in the excursion zone for the River Rats. Full shot clock for the Eagles. They can work their offense. Got it down tight, trying to get everybody out of position. There's a skip shot, and just knocked away by the defense.
Man, Baker did an outstanding job. Just scored the goal on the other end and comes in and uses a little bit of elbow grease for that block.
Just off the outside of her elbow. Otherwise, we'd be tied at 2. And there's a shot knocked away by Milot. Under 3 minutes now in the final period. The Eagles taking their time on this offensive possession. Already burning half of the possession clock. And pass is intercepted. And the Rats back down the other way. Now outlet pass to Baker. She'll pick it up and send it into the middle to Marsh.
Right now the Rats don't have good spacing on the pool.
Now back over to Baker wide. Baker trying to get in close. 3 seconds on the shot clock. A quick shot by Marsh. And we have a foul whistle by the referee. Now we'll have to see what the call is as he heads to the scorer's table.
It looked like maybe he was in the motioning of his hands that it was a palmed ball up under the water before Marsh unleashed the shot. Let's see if we can. Now this is the shot beforehand. You can see all the contact there on Baker. But then that was just a minor penalty. The ball was a free throw back to Marsh, and then there was a major penalty which caused the official to go over to the scorer's table, and I would assume that this may actually turn into a penalty shot, even though Marsh was nowhere near the 4-meter line. She was way out by the 7-meter line when she unleashed the shot. So again,
there's the simple foul right there.
But here,
then she sends it back to Marsh, and before that shot was off,
saw the contact. If we go back, you'll see the contact. Just rewind it, guys, and you can see the contact that went to Marsh's face. And well, we'll get there. But the contact went upstairs, and so maybe this is going to be a major penalty against the Eagles, because this contact right. Can we see this? It's an elbow coming in right here.
Right on the shoulder.
Yeah, and you can see her coming across too.
Right there.
A little clothesline action almost. And that's CTN replay guy. Nice.
Well, the referee's still at the scorer's table.
Yeah, they're having a long discussion between the official scorer and one of the referees, and I'm not sure if they're trying to decide, is it going to be a scoreboard? They're looking at the apparatus there that controls the scoreboard. So I'm wondering what the discussion is about.
I don't know if maybe it's a timing issue or what, because
That's
as soon as
call.
that foul is called, he took the
motioned
ball,
for the
and headed right over to the scorer's table.
And maybe the clock was running when the first penalty was called, and there should have been more time when Marsh unleashed the shot. Who knows? We're assuming right now.
And maybe they're trying to determine how much time was left on the shot clock when the foul occurred before Marsh took that shot. There wasn't much. It was only like, I want to say 3 seconds or so that was left on the shot clock when that foul occurred.
Exactly.
And this is what they've determined, that they're going to put a second on the shot clock.
Exactly. Good call, Pete.
So it's going to be River Rat possession.
Look at the smile on Emily's face right in the middle of the pool. Now Baker is going to trigger it. Whoa.
And the ball goes into the net, but the shot was after the shot clock had expired.
That was a strong shot by Marsh one time, and I mean right off the inside post, and that comes right inside to the
I don't know
cage.
if we're going to replay that again or.
And it looks like a timeout has been called. And you can see the Skyline coach, Rebecca Godick, is now going to walk over and try to get an explanation from the official right behind the bench area here. And she's definitely hot.
Oh, that was a quick explanation.
And she didn't look like she liked the explanation because she just turned and walked away.
So no major foul called. I think the referee was just wanted to set play with what time was left and on the shot clock when the foul occurred.
And not just the shot clock, they had to adjust the game clock too. So I think that's what was the real bugaboo there, that they couldn't, line up the shot clock as well as the game clock. That was the best shot we've seen all match. That didn't count, but so we mentioned earlier in this contest how the officials were allowing the players to get out and just go up and down the pool, unleashing shots, and then we get controversy setting in the final 2 minutes or 2:30 of this match.
Well, even period number 3 was a bit slowed down by the referees.
Well, it looks like, there was a penalty called against one of the Eagles on that shot, and that's probably why the Skyline coach, Rebecca Godick, came over and wanted to have a word. And now the official heads back over to the scorer's table once again, and he's taking over control of the match.
Maya Taleb Bendiab is in the exclusion area. So power play opportunity for the Rats.
And I'd go back up top for that last shot that the River Rats had. And now they just go on near side. They really could have did a better job, the River Rats, of waning down that clock and taking the shot clock down with the man advantage. Again, I think they're a little impatient on that possession.
Well, and as we get to the closing couple minutes here of the match, Huron only up 1. You probably want to try and burn a little time too if you can.
Exactly.
No change of possession. Rats come back the other way. Just a minute 23 to go here in period number 4. Huron with the 1-goal advantage. Baker going out wide once again. There's the dink shot. And Milat makes the save this time. Just didn't get it as high as last time when she scored the goal.
But I want to go back to what Coach Rebecca Godick did. She worked the referees, and you see all of this contact by the Eagle player. No whistle was called or blown that time, and I think there's at least 3 and maybe an assault.
Final minute of play, and the Eagles get the possession stolen away by the River Rat defense. And Claire Denhouder taking some time off the shot clock. 36 seconds to go, and Huron will call a timeout.
Just, another couple things that I like about the sport, Pete. One, any sport that has a rule that's called, or an infraction called brutality, that's a good sport. And this sport has brutality. But the second thing is, I love the way the coaches have air horns to call a timeout. I mean, you can just.
Well, it gets loud in here, as you can tell, with all the echo.
And you can never have these officials they only have 2 officials. can keep an eye on the bench area as well too. With all the action that goes on up under the surface, it's smart whoever came up with that. What did they do before air horns?
Yelled really loud?
Throw something at the official.
That's what they did in traditionally did in wrestling matches. They had a foam thing or a towel wrapped up, and they would throw it onto the mat so that it would get the attention of the referee.
Almost like
and they would try and hit the
dodgeball out here,
wrestlers
though.
to give them an idea to stop wrestling.
Yeah.
I definitely remember that when I was in high school going to see wrestling matches.
So you were before air horns?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
BA, before air horn.
Well, I would think that the Huron coach was explaining to his players that let's run this clock down a little bit more, take all 18 seconds off the clock, and and then give Skyline a short shot clock for the final possession.
Right. Oh, final 36 seconds of play. Huron with the 1-goal advantage and the possession. Now Marsh trying to work it down low. Just a few seconds left on the shot clock.
You can see Huron is just dropping their defense back in the second half of that shot clock. They were setting up and not allowing any long passes out of the Eagles to set up a quick change of possession and opportunity to score.
Well, 15.74 seconds on the clock. Rebecca Godek calls timeout for her Skyline Eagles.
And grabs that whiteboard.
And tries to set up a play that they can try and get a quick shot off, at a quality shot off, and knot this up at 2 in the final seconds.
Well, the last time Huron they were a man down, but Coach Godek had a great play with the pass going over the entire defense to the wide side, and it was an open shot, great defense, or we would have a tie match. Great defense by the River Rats.
Well, and just to set this up, if the Eagles are able to convert and tie this match up, then it goes to overtime, and they play 2 3-minute overtimes.
And then it goes to sudden death if they're still tied after the 2.
Right.
I think I may have been on the broadcast with you when we learned that. The way that, it was a hard way. It was tough for us to understand the rules there, that after a team in overtime could score several times and still not be awarded the victory, that they had to play it out.
Right. It's a different overtime setup, unlike any other sport. It is kind of neat. And different, and that's appealing about it.
Well, and I mean, you give each team the set amount of possessions, I believe, too. When you have a 6-minute period, both teams have 3 minutes on offense to score, as opposed to a shorter period where they would only get maybe 3 possessions.
Now timeout over. Everybody back in the pool, and we're back underway.
And Huron really shading one of their defenders into the hole there, trying to double up.
The ball knocked away by Marsh. Just 7 seconds to go. Stevens with the long shot, knocked away by Den Houder. And that'll do it as the clock runs out. And the Huron River Rats come away with a big 2-1 victory here in the pool at the end on senior night. Those River Rats come away with a quick victory. We're going to take a quick break and be back with more right here on CTN Sports.
Follow CTN Ann Arbor on Facebook. Just open up Facebook, hit like to stay up to date on workshops, our program schedule, and behind-the-scene photos. Find us at CTN Ann Arbor.
And welcome back. Our final commentary here. We've come up with our player of the game for this match. And Kevin, you want to let the audience know who it was?
It's Claire Den Houder. she displayed an outstanding match inside the net, and in a sport that has a net, it usually, on a low-scoring game, it's an easy pick for guys like you and me to have a player of the game, but she was outstanding on just different blocks, on different angles coming at her. She kept the River Rats in the match until they were able to get on the score.
And Claire is also a captain and a senior, so kind of fitting on senior night that she gets our player of the game nominee. I mean, the goal scorers were Emily Marsh, who played well offensively and defensively, and Elena Baker scored the other goal for Huron, but we felt that Claire Denhouter was just stellar in net, and so she gets our player of the game nomination here for the game of the week.
And it really sets the River Rats up good for heading into postseason, beating a rival from across town in their home pool, and playing that same team potentially in the districts coming up in just a couple days.
I'd like to thank all the people that make this production possible. Our director, Rob Cross, audio and replay by Matt Drake, graphics by Carl McCoy, our camera people, Natalia Tejada and Gage Shaughnessy. And for Kevin Bryant, this is Pete Poyer. Once again, the final from the pool at Huron High School. It is the River Rats 2 and the Eagles 1.